is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path.
A reading from the first letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians, chapter 1, verses 26 to 31. Consider your own calling, brothers and sisters. Not many of you were wise by human standards. Not many were powerful. Not many were of noble birth. Rather, God chose the foolish of the world to shame the wise. And God chose the weak of the world to shame the strong. And God chose the lowly and despised of the world, those who count for nothing, to reduce to nothing those who are something, so that no human being might boast before God. It is due to him that you are in Christ Jesus, who became for us wisdom from God, as well as righteousness, sanctification, and redemption, so that, as it is written, whoever boasts should boast in the Lord. This is the word of the Lord.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Matthew, chapter 25, verses 14 to 30. Jesus told his disciples this parable. A man going on a journey called in his servants and entrusted his possessions to them. To one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, to a third 1, to each according to his ability. Then he went away. Immediately the one who received 5 talents went and traded with them, and made another 5. Likewise, the one who received 2 made another 2. But the man who received 1 went off and dug a hole in the ground, and buried his master's money. After a long time, the master of those servants came back and settled accounts with them. The one who had received 5 talents came forward, bringing the additional 5. He said, "Master, you gave me 5 talents. See, I have made 5 more." His master said to him, "Well done, my good and faithful servant. Since you were faithful in small matters, I will give you great responsibilities. Come, share your master's joy." Then the one who had received 2 talents also came forward and said, "Master, you gave me 2 talents. See, I have made 2 more." His master said to him, "Well done, my good and faithful servant. Since you were faithful in small matters, I will give you great responsibilities. Come, share your master's joy." Then the one who had received the 1 talent came forward and said, "Master, I knew you were a demanding person, harvesting where you did not plant, and gathering where you did not scatter. So out of fear I went off and buried your talent in the ground. Here it is back." The master said to him in reply, "You wicked, lazy servant. So you knew that I have harvest where I did not plant, and gather where I did not scatter. You should not then have put my money in the bank, so that I could have got it back with interest on my return. Now then, take the talent from him and give it to the one with 10. For to everyone who has, more will be given, and he will grow rich. But from the one who has not, even what he has will be taken away. And throw this useless servant into the darkness outside, where there will be wailing and grinding of teeth." The Gospel of the Lord.
My dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, in today's Gospel, we hear 2 kinds of servants. The first one, good and faithful servant. The second category is, according to the Holy Gospel, wicked and worthless servant. The first category, good and faithful. The second, wicked and worthless. Let's ask from ourselves, what kind of a servant am I? A good and faithful, or wicked and worthless? how can I judge my servanthood? It all depends on our response to the given call. We know we are entrusted with different kind of responsibilities. Maybe as priests and religious, or as a husband, or as a wife, or as parents, and as godparents or grandparents. Maybe in a parish, you are entrusted with different kind of responsibilities, and it is our call to respond to these responsibilities. And how do we respond? And that is the way to judge our servanthood before God. If I respond positively and faithfully to the call given by God, and if I always in search of the will of God than of the will of myself or the will and the wish of the others, if I am in search of the will of God and we obey to that will of God and accept that will of God, I will be and you will be a good and faithful servant. And this is the very phrase that I and you should hear at the end of a day, at the end of a week or a month, or at the end of any mission, that I should hear. And it's better that if you can hear the very words of Jesus, well done, good and faithful servant. God bless you.